facebook.com/oddnews.
Now, we're not underestimating your intelligence, but just in case you were wondering, those flying pictures were faked, and we don't assume that any of you were taken in, of course.
Time now 6:55. Cramps, chafing, dizziness, dehydration. It's a bit like how I'm feeling right now, actually, but I'm not talking about that. London Marathon. Of course, it pushes the human body to its ultimate limits. The 26-mile course requires months and months of painstaking preparation, careful diet, meticulous planning. Or does it, Naga?
Oh, have you had chafing?
No, I don't actually have it. I'll carry on. Irish twins Jedward claim they completed the Los Angeles Marathon, if you believe this, without any training. Is it possible to run just on a whim?
Let's talk.
You right now?
To fitness trainer, to the stars, Kevin Adams. Hello, Kevin. No chafing for you, I hope.
No,
and Matthew Baker, who ran last year's London Marathon with very little preparation. I think we'll stay away from the subject of chafing and all of that. Now, Charlie, you should be very interested in this because Charlie's running the Sport Mile today, and you've done absolutely no training.
1 mile and 1 mile only.
1 mile, OK. But you've done no training for this so far. You think you're going to be fine?
Well, I don't really know, but I think I'll struggle. But Matthew, you did a marathon, a genuine 100% marathon with little training.
Yeah, with little training. I think the only training I actually did was maybe about 3 months before, when it was kind of just a test case really, and I ran a 10-mile run. And then before that, my intention was to kind of was to do a lot more training, was to kind of start the prep maybe about 6 weeks before. But as the kind of day got closer and closer, just never actually kind of got to it. And
weren't you just scared?
I was, yeah. I was absolutely terrified, and I think the only thing that actually kind of got me to complete the marathon was the fact that you've raised so much money for charity beforehand. So it got to 2 weeks before, and I think the realisation was that if you haven't done any training by then, any training that you do isn't really going to help.
So, Kevin, Matthew's case, stupidity or bravery?
Stupidity. Definitely. Do you know, the thing is, though, I think that you can run a marathon without training. It's just the ramifications are going to be long and ongoing. So you've got, like, muscle seizure, you've got muscle pulls, and you've got DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, which in 48 hours, the cramping and the muscle just literally rebels and says, you shouldn't have done that to me.
Is that what happened, Matthew?
It was, yes. Yeah. I mean, on the actual day itself, I was still managing to kind of walk, and I could move around fine. I got to the Monday and I just had complete kind of seizure, basically. I just couldn't move at all, so just lay in bed, had to take the day off work. So in hindsight, it would have probably been better to kind of do some training, or at least do some warm downs or warm ups.
Yeah, Kevin, can I ask you about those two young gentlemen with the tall hair?
Yes.
By the name of Jedward, who claim to have just swanned in. I mean, they're clearly quite fit anyway. They dance a lot, so I mean, that thing of them just doing.
I believe in miracles. So
3 hours 36.
That didn't happen. I'm sorry. There's no. Physically, you can train for a marathon and do a good time, and you can be relatively fit and run a good time. But to have not trained at all, got off a long-haul flight from London to Los Angeles, and just got on the start line and run in 3 hours 26 minutes. No, I'm definitely going to say no. Maybe someone's made an error and they didn't understand that the clock up the top says what it says.
Well, that's interesting. I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to be talking about this again later on, I know. So we'll invite people's thoughts on that one and about your training regimes and whether you're running a mile today and what you've done or haven't done. Thank you both very much.
Kevin, Matthew, thank you. That's it for breakfast at the moment. Headlines coming up. We'll see you soon.
How long is the big squeeze?